I've missed our little talks.
I'm certain of that. How are things on the front lines?
The moment of opportunity has revealed itself. But there is much to be done before we can seize it. One of Isgarin's paths has found his way here. And he only seems interested in hearing from you. We are gathered at the war camp. Don't keep us waiting, dear.
Wayfinder?
Galrath? Didn't expect to see you here.
Didn't expect to be here, but somebody has to keep an eye on this mess for Isgarin. And it fell to me.
He still has his doubts then.
Plenty, but you'll get to plead your case. Let's get to it.
The last of our ensemble arrives. Good. There is much to cover, and our window will close if we don't move quickly.
What's the situation?
The first barrier has fallen, so we can breach farther into their defenses to gain more ground. But more ground means more to cover, and we're stretched thin as it is. One way or another, we need more soldiers. Once we have them, we'll be able to pressure their last lines of defense as we prepare for an assault on the Citadel.
Can we get the Astral Ward's full support?
Isgarin's answer is no. We're still recovering from the Cryptus attack, and this is not our battle.
What happens here will affect Tyria.
That's why Isgarin has been kind enough to allow the volunteers to support you. If you want the full backing of the Astral Ward, prove to us that Peitha can prevent the Cryptus from being a threat to Tyria.
Peitha has already proved herself to...
Calm now, Ramses. He will get the proof he desires in time.
What about the local Cryptus?
Eparch's hold on this world is more tenuous than it may appear. My people fear him, but there are limits to the control that fear grants. What we need is someone that they respect. Someone they will follow, even against Eparch.
You mean General Nefus?
Who is Nefus?
I served under him myself for a long time. A brilliant strategist, peerless warrior, and a noble leader. Eparch has kept him quiet and contained, but he can't kill him. Nefus commands too much loyalty from the soldiers.
Where he goes, the masses will follow. It's time we track the old general down. This may take some time, but the war has widened, and there is need for your talents elsewhere on the battlefield. Gather what information you can as you assist our forces in the fight. Once he is found, I will have use for you again.
What can you tell me about Nefus?
I served under him myself for a long time. A brilliant strategist, peerless warrior, and a noble leader. Those things made him a liability to our gluttonous king. He couldn't be trusted to follow the more gruesome orders. Nefus commands too much respect to be simply disposed of. So instead, Eparch forced him into retirement. But he is watched closely. Eparch knows that any movement with the General involved would be a real threat.
What is Isgaren's plan if we fail?
The total destruction of Nayos and the Cryptus, most likely. It's what I advised in the first place. We have no reason to believe they can be peaceful, and the risk, if you're wrong, is the destruction of Tyria. Better to not take that risk. You have too much faith in them, far more than they've earned. But like I said, you've got your chance to prove me wrong. Better get to it. One last thing, Wayfinder. Isgaren is still allowing volunteers to join you here. The next group will be arriving soon. They're here because they believe in you, not Peitha. Don't waste their lives.
Aren't you eager to get back to Tyria now that the gate is open?
Of course. But I need to make sure that Tyria will have a future. And that means finishing this first. The front line is where I belong. Where I can do the most good. I'll leave when the war is over. Besides, Ramses and Peitha saved my life. As long as they need my help, I have an obligation to offer it.
Will Peitha's plan to convince the Cryptus actually work?
I don't know. So far. The Cryptus here have been beaten down for centuries. They must want change. Fear can only keep people under your thumb for so long. Especially when you start killing them indiscriminately. Living under Eparch may actually be a fate worse than death. At least with us, they have a chance to survive.
Look alive, soldiers. The Wayfinder approaches.
I've got a fresh batch of volunteers for you, ready to face the demon hordes.
Frode, you're an unexpected sight.
There's battles to be fought, Wayfinder. I may be getting older, but I still never retreat. Besides, I needed to check in with our forward group, see how they were handling it. Triage is in order, troops are looking disciplined, and you've secured a solid foothold in the area. You've done an excellent job here, soldier. Couldn't have done it better myself.
Thank you, Warden.
Well, I need to get out into the field. But I'm sure Arena will be happy to get you up to speed.
Of course, Wayfinder.
I knew this place couldn't beat you. Too much of your mother in you for that.
Has it been difficult to convince the Cryptus to change sides?
A mighty struggle, yes. Understand, it is not because the majority are loyal to the tyrant. They are not. The problem is one of fear, of terror. They have seen what happens to those who cross him. They don't yet believe we can protect them from his ravenous appetites. That's why we must show them that loyalty to Eparch is no shield from his capriciousness. He will gladly devour his own.
Do you believe that Peitha can keep Nayos peaceful?
I believe in her quest for a new Nayos, yes. Or I would not have pledged my horns to her. But can the Cryptis accept peace at all? That's a more heady question, isn't it? Eparch has ruled this place since your world was young. This is the only order the Cryptis have ever known. I believe a better path exists, but it has to be discovered. And then, we have to travel down it. That will take time.
Who else besides Nephis do we need to account for?
Eparch has a few other generals he can still call on, and all of them are vicious creatures in their own right. We've heard talk that Queen Labris might be slithering out of the Citadel, which would be a significant escalation. There are also the twin generals, Alcaeus and Xantheron, but Eparch likes to keep them close for his own comfort. Let us hope it stays that way. I've seen the horrors they are capable of when their reins are removed.
Iskarin is too skeptical of Peitha.
Your misunderstanding is Garen's concern. Would Peitha be less of a threat to Tyria than Eparch? Almost certainly. But how many Astral Ward lives will it cost to roll those dice? If it had been good news that needed delivering, would Iskarin have sent me to do it?
You're staying in Nayos?
As long as I need to. I'll be keeping an eye on things, and sending reports back to the wizards. You know how this works. Show me that our soldiers are in good hands, and you'll get the resources you need.
Reinforcements are just what we needed. Even what we could do with the whole ward. We think we've found Nephis. We need to scout the area first. Draw their attention away for a bit longer.
Much obliged.
Strong!
I think we're good. If you got any last supplies for us, now's the time.
Wayfinder, I need your help with
Thanks.
something. Come find me so we can get to
I
work.
solemnly swear to never nap again.
You said it, friend. Now, let's get these supplies to camp.
Ah, Wayfinder. Good. Right on time.
What is it?
I've learned that there are a number of scrolls and tablets here that describe ancient fighting techniques. Huh. Might not add up to much, but if they're any good, it would be wise to add them to the ward's arsenal. I've got some scouting reports about where they might be, but I need to keep monitoring things here for Isgaran.
Doesn't it?
Until we meet again.
Back already? Easy to see why you always get picked for these kinds of things. I'll have these sent back for translation and study. With any luck, we'll be able to start training with them soon. If you want to start experimenting with these techniques before then, be my guest.
Unsettling news, Wayfinder. Our scouts report that they are being shadowed. Their eyes are upon us now. We must move quickly if we are to beat the spider to our fly.
Continues. Struggle and claw however you wish, Vermin. The result will be the same. Loyalists, to me!
Meet us at the outskirts of town. I sense there will be more obstacles in our path before we are finished.